What's up? Time to talk about Daryl Dixon, Season 1, Episode 6, the season finale. The big season finale, guys. AMC Plus has got this, and I was sure that after doing 5 episodes that AMC Plus had listened to me and that they had got an audio description. I was wrong. I never actually thought that. But, so I'm still the blind guy watching Daryl Dixon, which is still presented I would say at least half French. It's about half French. Also with zombie sequences. And I had to rate every episode so far as unwatchable, which is just me not grading the episode. It's me saying that the way it was presented to me did not give me enough information to be able to give this thing a grade. I couldn't really follow it or understand it. Same thing happened here. Where whence last we left Daryl, he was in a little bit of a situation. It sounded like he was gonna have to fight some zombies and some walkers, and we had this guy that was like, Dixon! Dixon! I love that guy. I don't know what he's up to, but I love how that guy shouts out Daryl's out. Nobody has shouted Daryl's name like that guy. In 11 seasons of The Walking Dead, I've never heard Daryl's name shouted quite like that guy. Anyway, Daryl's in a little bit of a pickle, and has to work himself out of it, and he does because he's Daryl. The show is called Daryl Dixon. So, yeah. So, of course he does. And he goes on the road, and we see, that the kid eventually finds his way to his place. Daryl gets in there, and they're like, where's the other guy? And Daryl's like, he didn't make it. And Daryl runs into the nun again, and I don't know, there was some sort of argument. Some people showed up, and it was kind of hard to follow what was happening there, and people started speaking in French, and I'm like, stop doing that. Please stop doing that. It's funny because if it had audio description, it would be fine. If I could see, I would love to read the subtitles, but being a blind person who has no audio description and does not speak French, it's driving me insane. So that's the whole thing here is, if I could see, I would just read the subtitles. I wouldn't even complain. I'd be on here being like, Daryl Dixon was amazing this week. This show's going to win Emmys. And instead, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't really know what happened. I don't know what these characters said to each other. I have no idea. I just know that Daryl eventually finds his way to a guy who's like, hey, I was from New Jersey. I just happened to be in France. And Daryl's like, oh my God, thank God. There's a dude from America here. At least that's how I felt. I was like, oh, make him a series regular, please. Add him to the cast permanently. Daryl's new best friend. Give him somebody to talk to. American. Thank you. And I was just so excited about the continual use of English. I was like, oh, so nice to have this. And then, lo and behold, I found out how they brought Carol back into the episode, because we cut back over to America, and there's a sequence where somebody who is riding on Daryl's bike, who is not Daryl, is caught by Carol. And this guy's he's annoyed at first, and Carol's just kind of calmly asking him where he got the bike, and then he tries to be now you're gonna let me look through that sack of yours. He tries to be the big guy, and I'm like, you do not know what you're doing, sir. So of course Carol fucks him up, and of course, and puts him in a situation where he's really just he's trying to give her the answers, but he really did not steal the bike from Daryl. He bought it somewhere and acquired it that way. But Carol is on a mission now to find Daryl. I guess that will probably be how this series ends, would be Carol and Daryl finally reuniting. Reunited and it feels so good. I don't know. I mean, they're in 2 different continents right now, so there's not much else I can say about that. I don't know if is she gonna find a boat? That's a bold move. Be like, I don't know, last time I saw Daryl, he was on a boat to Europe. Where in Europe? I don't know. I mean, he could be anywhere. He could have just kept going. He could be in, like, Croatia by now, you know? It's just, like, there's no necessary reason for her to believe that Daryl is in France. Just such a weird thing if she was able to track him down and she's like, I found you. Like, damn. She didn't even need the internet. She found him. So, it was nice to see Melissa McBride, though. I kind of wish she had been in the show from the very beginning and didn't back out of it. Would have been interesting to see what that show looked like. Were they still going to go to France the whole time? Would it have been Daryl and Carol both going to France? I don't know, but it would have been interesting to see what that show was supposed to be like with the 2 of them when it was Daryl and Carol instead of Daryl Dixon. So, but a very welcome face return. So, and Daryl, of course, everybody's like, why don't you just stay? You have people here who care about you. And Daryl's like, I have family back home. And I'm like, yes, you do. You promised Judith that you would return. You got to return. So, ultimately, I want there to be like some sort of like Walking Dead reunion / finale when they're done with all these spinoffs that actually has everybody coming back and being like, oh shit, we're all here together. And there's Rick, you know? Like, I want that moment. Yeah, and then just no more Walking Dead after that. Just like reboot it or something, find a new cast. This is a fun experiment, but since none of these shows have audio description, and they're only producing like 6-episode seasons. What is this? This is so really, it's so anticlimactic. Although for this series I don't really care because I can't understand most of it, so could have been, you know, longer, could have been shorter, and I don't know, it would have probably the same impact on me. I still like it better than World Beyond, which just I really hated the CW version of The Walking Dead. That was not a good show. Otherwise, that's it. That's Daryl Dixon for the season. So, will Daryl and Carol find each other? Will they both run out into the middle of the ocean? And standing in the middle of the Atlantic, they'll be like, I found you. How are we standing here right now? I don't know, it doesn't make any sense, but we're standing here. Both walk on water. I have to give Daryl Dixon season 1, episode 6 unwatchable. I'm sorry, I do. It's just, I couldn't follow this. My recaps suck for this show because I don't really know what's going on. I would love to be able to recap the show at a greater length, but I really can't. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll be back with Daryl Dixon next season because I refuse to let AMC Plus win. I'm going to keep bitching about the fact that these shows don't have audio description until they do. If The Walking Dead, the main series, ever just happened to get audio description right now, like the whole thing's on Netflix, if Netflix just like sprung for audio description, I'd watch the whole thing. I would rewatch the entire series. Just to get all the things that I missed from the seasons after I lost my vision, for sure. Instead of having my friends describe it for me as we watched it, which is what I had. So, I would love to have that instead. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please click that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next season. Until then, see you guys on the other side.